Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and today I'm doing a discussion over the Core of Discovery, which is the newest game by Off the Pages Games. And to be fair, I've only ever played one of their games, which was Mind Management. And I wasn't the biggest fan of Mind Management, so I haven't really taken a look at any of their other games. I know they've done Harrow County, and then this one, and I think that's just it for them. But for Core of Discovery, it was kind of a intriguing game to me because it's a deduction-based game with a ton of different scenarios, depending on how many expansions you get. The core game comes with flora and fauna as scenarios, but essentially what you're doing is you slide a map into this grid, and you're kind of just doing these logic rules to deduce where certain types of terrain is that you gather as resources to be able to complete challenges that will kind of persist throughout the overall game as you are trying to complete the overall objective. So for example, the very first mission, you're trying to kill 3 Minotaurs, and how you kill 3 Minotaurs is you have to find where these forts are, and those allow you to draw a card that tell you, hey, here's the resources you need to be able to kill a Minotaur. And while you're trying to do all of that, you have these challenges that are getting thrown at you that require you to have resources that give you something if you pass, and make you lose even more if you fail. So there's actually a decent amount going on in this game, and every single scenario is going to provide you with additional rules that and additional logic rules that are just going to kind of change up every single time you play. Now, there is something extremely intriguing and satisfying about this game, because whenever you have the map covered, which is a little weird in how they do it. It works for how they do it, but it's also kind of cumbersome to kind of set up. Whenever you're actually just kicking off like your location, like the very first scenario tells you, hey, you get to start on the right side, or column 7, whatever, and you gotta just pick whichever one to start off. And then, from the very first thing that you remove, it's like, oh, that's a water. Okay, so water has to be orthogonally adjacent to wood. So which one of these 3 spaces is wood? And at first, you're kind of just randomly guessing. Like, you had your bets. It's like, well, it could be up it could be up, down, or left. All right, I'll just keep going inland. So I'll go in, and then, oh, there's the wood. And pretty much from then on is constant deduction. And if you don't like that kind of game, if you don't like logic games like Search for Planet X, Search for the Lost Species, Turing Machine, this game is not going to be for you, because it's pure logic that you have to be correct about, because otherwise if you're constantly wrong, then you're going to be getting the fail effects of the challenges, and the fail effects are brutal. Most of them, if not all of them, cause you to lose water. And if you ever have to spend water and you can't, you lose. So if you're just not into those style games, then I mean, just this isn't your game. So I do enjoy those kinds of games, because there is that sense of satisfaction when you are correct and when you nail it down, when you're like, okay, so that is probably rock. If that's rock, then that means this is going to be mud. And not only do you just need to be right about that stuff, you want to be right depending on the challenges that are facing you. It's like, oh, okay, I currently have bug infestation as my very first challenge. And what's nice about the challenges is it's not like all 3 of them are going to hit you. It does go left to right, and that is kind of a timer. So it's like I have 3 exploration spots to explore before this pops off. I need to find 2 mud, and you have gear and stuff that, helps you along the way. It's like, okay, if I can just get 1 mud, then I can actually use my character's ability. If I can guess that that's mud, I can exhaust Lewis, and that will actually give me my 2 mud that I need. to complete that. But it's really nice when you're like, okay, if that's mud, then that means that this has to be food. And I need food to eat at the end of the day. So let's just see if that's it. And whenever it is, it feels so satisfying. Now, the opposite is very true whenever you're like, I'm pretty sure that that's going to be wood, so I'm going to go there. And if it's not wood, it's like, shit, okay, why wasn't that wood? And every time I've played this game, if I've been wrong, it's not because the maps are incorrect. It's not like, oh, well, they fucked up. It's like, oh, no, yep, dang it, alright, that was my bad. Because, like, for example, there are some scenarios where it's like there can only be one wood in a column, and if you just miss it, or you're like, dang it, yeah, nope, that makes sense, that shouldn't have been it. Or if you're needing things to be in a certain alignment, like a certain orientation, I've played games where I've gotten it backwards, where I accidentally thought that I went like, mud, wood, then teepee or something, and it's like, oh no, but teepee's in the middle, so that's why I messed up. So this game is overall, I don't think that punishing if you are able to do the deduction rules. I don't think it's easy by any means, because as the game goes on, it's going to become like you're eventually going to start losing water, you're going to start running out of resources. You need to be methodical about when you use your gear and how you use your gear and when you use your character's special ability. So that, like, if you just kind of waste an ability on a resource that you might not even need, you don't get those back until you complete all 3 challenges, because that's how the day ends. So once all challenges are completed, then you go to end of day, and also if you can't feed your people, then you lose that way as well. But they only get refreshed during the night phase. So on top of the challenges being there, you have threat cards that are being persistent, that are scenario specific, that get shuffled in, as well as just these generic misfortune cards that get thrown in. So those are kind of there, that will throw a wrinkle in things. There's a lot that's actually going on in this game for that type of just generic deduction. And I really enjoyed that. Now, there's a couple things about this game that I don't like. One, I think the rulebook is just fucking dog shit. And in terms of teaching you the rules, this is going to sound weird. In terms of teaching you, hey, here's how the game is played, it does that perfectly fine. However, it's done in such a way that it feels backwards, because there is a tutorial mission. It's a mission 0. It's very concise. Like, you don't have the whole 7x7. It's like done on a 5x5 grid. You just have to kind of survive. There's no overall objective. It's just like, hey, play the game, finish out these very basic tutorial challenges. Just do 6 of those, and then you've learned pretty much a majority of the game. But when you're trying to set up to play the game, it does like your regular setup. So for some reason, they put in the tutorial at the back of the rulebook with the other scenarios that omit certain things that you've already kind of set up for if you just followed the original setup. So I don't know why they didn't just combine that. And the reason why I bring this up is because I was looking through forums on like rules and just trying to figure something out. And someone else made this huge post about the rulebook, and I think either the designer, I don't think it's the designer, I think it was Jay, who commented, and even he was like, man, we are 0 for 3 on rulebooks, or we are 0 for 3 on tutorial missions. And he said that they hired a rulebook editor. Hire someone else. Be like, don't find someone off of, Fiverr or something to be able to write your rulebooks. Just because whenever you're needing to find specific things, like a great example is the threat deck. Like, the scenario just says, "Hey, take the chapter's recommended threat cards and shuffle them into a deck." It's like, so you look at the scenario rules, and it's like, oh, okay, which ones do I need? It doesn't say anywhere. You have to look for it, and it's basically what you do is you find that scenario's threat cards, shuffle those, and then add in 2 random misfortune cards. Don't know why that is just weird to find. And then whenever you're actually setting up the game and you're following the rules, it's like, okay, cool, I got all of this. Now let me go and learn the game through the tutorial. And it's like, yep, nope, none of that. Remove all of that and set it up this way, and then just kind of slowly play the game. But the tutorial mission doesn't even teach you the game. It just has you set it up, so you still have to read the rules. It could have easily just been mixed together. Like, a lot of games will take the setup and just say, for your first game, do this. Or for your first game, we recommend you pick this character. Or we recommend you pick this gear card. So it's just not great in terms of learning. This game, again, is not hard to learn. Especially if you're playing this solo, which I would just recommend is the only way to play this game. It can be played multiplayer and maybe cooperatively to help with deduction, but in reality, this feels like it was a solo game through and through. So, yeah, the rulebook isn't amazing. The next thing, which is not necessarily a negative, because there is so much content for the game, but these maps are static. There is nothing about them that will actually change. So, like, for example, this is what a map looks like. Okay. I don't want to basically just keep showing it because in case anyone has it. But they're map sheets. And when you're setting up the game, you take a map sheet and you slide it in, and there's supposed to be a cover page. So you just take a cover sheet and the map sheet without looking. So you're like, oh, let me do this, and then you have it like covered like that, and then you slide it in, and then you take these tokens, which are very nice. Components for this game are amazing, and then you slot these into the 7x7 grid. Then you remove the cover sheet, and now you have a map that you haven't seen before. Except that's not true. Like, there are a ton of map sheets. So just for like the base game, you have where is it? There are 10 sheets, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 10 sheets, and they're double-sided. So you have 20 maps to go through, all with the same rules, but so you just grab any one of those and do that. My original problem is that if you play this game enough, you are going to learn the map. And so if there's a kickoff point, if you've seen a map enough times, and you're like, oh, I have to start on the right side, and you reveal it, and it's like, oh, that's a water. I remember there was a wood this way, so it kind of just becomes, pointless to keep playing. Am I saying that, I'm not a player like that. I've played, I don't have a problem with limited play games, just because I have a decent amount of games that I never play a game that many times. So I've been able to go back to Sherlock Holmes missions and be like, I don't remember the outcome, and be able to replay those. And those are technically one-time play. Or games like Chronicles of Crime or Detective, a modern crime board game. Those kind of whodunits that there is hey, once you know the answer, you can't play it again. I've redone those because it's been so long since I've done it. I'm like, I don't remember the outcome. So for me, that would not be a problem. Like, hell, I just got done playing a map, and I'm pretty sure I could just... my memory is apparently trash now. I'm turning 32 in a couple months. So apparently it just went out the window. Now I could probably put the same exact map in and reveal a spot and be like, I don't remember. I don't remember what was around that. But I feel like some people might have an issue with that. Now, the way that the challenge cards are going to come out, the way the threat cards are going to come out, the way you choose your gear, your character, there's a ton of variability that it's not about the map. Or maybe it is. If you have a certain map that you've remembered, then that might make an extra fun challenge to, because of the different challenge cards that are coming out. So that was my original hesitation on the way the maps are. It's like, well, you're going to figure it out because there's no way to randomize it outside of that. And there's no way that they could have made it to where there are no map sheets because of the logic rules. Like, there's just, unless they went app. That's the only way that this could have worked, is if it was like somehow an app generated it, like Search for Planet X or Search for Lost Species or Turing Machine. That's really the only way that they could have done it. So that's actually it. There is a ton of stuff because that's 20 maps just from the core game, and then you have the expansions. That is Insecta, Vameter, Maldonado, and Fog. And there's tons of maps for all of those. So you got a shit ton of replayability in here. But, like, it is still there. Like, for people who don't have a ton of games, that this would be like their 5th game in their collection, and you're playing solo, and you're playing it a lot, then yeah, you might run out of content. And even then, I'd say that's okay. Because to learn this game that much, there are people who've played, Elden Ring, to where they've got it down to a science, and that's like thousands of hours of gameplay. If you get hundreds of hours out of Core of Discovery, and you're like, well, I've seen it all. Yeah, you got 100 hours of gameplay for an $80 game. I don't know how much the Kickstarter edition costs. So it's really not that big of a deal. And originally I was going to talk about this as a negative, but as I kept talking, I've convinced myself that it is not. So yeah, like I'm pleasantly surprised with this one. I was hesitant of the company just because I didn't really like Mind Management as like a hidden role game, just because there are other games of that genre that I like, that are staples in my collection. But this one, like, I know it's in that genre of the games I've just mentioned, Turing Machine and Search for, it's closer to more of the Search for Planet X or Search for the Lost Species. But it is more unique. There's more stuff going on. I like the fact that there's a character that you can pick. And there's characters that are specific to scenarios. There's Destiny cards that are like, you have the core game stuff, but then, hey, I'm playing the Insecta scenario, so more Destiny cards get shuffled in. More gear cards are available. And, they even have it to where you pick your gear. But you don't even have to. You could just, like what I did, is I picked like one gear, and then I shuffled to have, 2 more. Just, it's like, okay, this is the gear I want to have, and let's see what other 2 I get. And then you add more characters, and you have unique challenges that are to your scenario. And what's also very neat is the way the challenges can come out can also be beneficial. Like the current setup I have is there's bug infestation that's like, hey, if you have a shelter, which is a really neat little piece there, if you have a shelter, when this comes out, you get 2 water. Great. Okay, cool. Then the next one I had is landslide, where if I passed it, this is all assuming I'm passing it, I gain a stone, but I lose my shelter. It's like, okay. And it's not like you're punished if you have to lose something. It's not like, oh, you don't have a shelter to lose, you lose more water. It's not like that. But then, the strong wind was, if I passed it and I had a spot that a shelter could go in, I actually got my shelter back. That's neat. And that's just the way that they randomly come out. It could have easily been strong wind. Oh, I don't have a shelter. Or I don't have a spot a shelter can be built. So I would actually lose fire and lose water, and it's just awful. So there's just a ton of replayability here. And for a game that has a ton of scenario-specific tokens, the insert's actually really good. I have no complaints with the way this insert came in. So they might not be able to write rulebooks, but they were able to make a really pretty good insert. And yeah. And they also actually have it to where when you complete a map, it tells you to pull the map out and flip it and put it back in the envelope so that whenever you go to play again, you inherently already have a new map to play. So production's fantastic. The art is, I think it follows the comic book. I'm pretty sure all of their games are based around comics. I know none of them. I know nothing about the Core of Discovery. I know nothing about mind management. And I think Harrow County must be another one. So I think this is a very solid and really good deduction game. Playing multiplayer, I really don't see how that could be fun. If you're looking to play this game with multiple people, I just don't see it. I don't see why anyone would play this at multiplayer. It's very much your own solo game. At least that's how it feels to me. And I'm not even a solo player, but that's the only way I've been playing this game, because I just don't see the point in having another player here. So yeah, that's it, everyone. That's my thoughts on the Core of Discovery. And on a scale of 1 to 10, oh man, what do I give this one? I'm thinking, I think I'm gonna go 8. I think I was debating a 9, because I do think the deduction is very good here. The production's very good here. The replayability is very good here. But I think at the end of the day, I'm not always in the mood to play a deduction game. Having it be solo makes it a lot easier for this style game. But yeah, like, it's I mean, this game is a really good one to check out. So I'm gonna go with 8, with a tentative 9. That it's like, well, it was almost a 9, but yeah, personal playstyle, I think I'm gonna go with an 8. But that's it, everyone. That's my thoughts on Core of Discovery. Let me know what you think of the game in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.